Hello, everyone. I am back again, and today I am here to talk about Ready or Not 2 Here I Come, which is now playing in theaters. Because I'm me, and y'all know me, I'm going to try not to get into the spoiler lands, but sometimes I can't help it, and it just slips out. So if you need to pause and go watch the movie and then come back, I totally understand. Um, but before we get into my thoughts, let's just go over the synopsis really quickly. After surviving one deadly game, Grace and her sister Faith must now outrun four rival families competing for a powerful throne. Winner takes all. Okay, so now my thoughts. This is radio silence in their comfort zone. It is fun, it is bloody, it is wild, it is such a good time. The gore is really great. All the explosions, as we should say, are really great. There's some really funny moments with that. I think that really works really well. Um, it's a real adding. So I loved this movie starting literally right after the last movie. Like no time has passed. This is the same day, which is also kind of wild to think about. This poor girl. Um, so this, well, it's the next day technically because she passes out. Anyway, but it's literally starts and it's the same day. Um, that is a great, and then taking that moment and being able to expand what was just very singular in the first film on this one family and expanding that to add not only other families but other families from other cultures is really interesting and a really cool way to expand the world that I don't know that I necessarily need a third one, but I would be interested. I would hear Radio Silence out on literally any project, but like I would hear them out if they want to do a third one, because I think that could be even I don't know. Always here to listen to Radio Silence's ideas, um, but I do think that this film does benefit really well, just like the first one, with a great ensemble. It seems like they had a lot of fun making this film that I could tell from their press tour and just the energy, the vibes inside of the movie. Specific highlights for me: Catherine and Samara, the two sisters at the Grace and Faith at the core of the story. Um, I really like the family tension. Y'all know I'm a sucker for some family drama. I That's my bread and butter. I love that. And then the juxtapose, whatever the word is, their relationship with Sarah Michelle and Sean's relationship, the affluent control Richie Rich brother and sister was really interesting as well. And I thought they also gave really great performances. I'm here for a Sarah Michelle renaissance. Let's bring it. Um, I will say one of my more negative notes for the film, and it's not really the film's fault, to be fair. It's missing some of the surprise and the energy from the first film because you really didn't know what you were getting from the first film, at least not initially. If you didn't get it spoiled for you before you saw the film, um, but that's honestly kind of how sequels work. I think they added enough twists and turns and flips and flops that I think they tried to get to some level of that from the first film. It just never got there for me to that level. But like, it. I compare this is odd that I'm comparing it to this franchise, but I compare it to like a Scream. I don't think any Scream film will ever compare to the first film because that's such an iconic theater movie experience watching that film for the first time. Like I said, unless you had it spoiled for you, in which case I apologize for them on their behalf. But yeah, so Scream 2 was never going to live up to Scream 1. Scream 3 was never going to live up to Scream 1 or 2. Like it's kind of, um, what's that thing Sheree says all the time? You get less each time you go back to a franchise. Not that this is a franchise yet. It's only been two films. But, um, yeah, so I think it's not as flashy as the first film. It's not as surprising. But that's honestly, it's not the movie. It's not the film's part. I can speak. I promise. I do want to say though, because I don't remember if we did an episode on the first one or not. If we haven't, we should have. Anyway, as a queer person watching these movies, it's really fun to watch this a horror film surrounding the absolute absurdity that straight people put on marriage and what a wedding is and what a marriage is and the contract of that, and adding that like horror aspect to it and making it also super campy and fun. It just adds such a fun lens to watch this movie through. It just, the whole time I was like, they are absolutely ridiculous, especially with the proposals that happen throughout the film. I won't say any more specifics because I'm not trying to spoil anything, but like it's just, it adds a layer that I was like, this is absolutely ridiculous in the best way. And straight people, don't put so much pressure on yourself about marriage and weddings. It's really not that big a deal. It's really not. I mean, it's kind of nice to have. I'm not trying to say that, that gay people or queer people don't need to be able to get married. That's not. Don't put those words in my mouth. Just don't put the pressure on it because, like, it just is. Anyway, back to this movie though. I went down a rabbit hole. I thought it was really great. I had a lot of fun watching it. Not as good as the first, but that's hard to do, right? As the whole conversation in Scream 2, name me a sequel that's better than the original. There's probably one or two out there, but I can't name them off the top of my head. Anyways, I'm going to give this film 4 Bloody Marys because there was lots of blood happening everywhere. And I saw something online that I was like, that is really cool. I guess some theaters around the world, countries, something like that, were selling like bloody showings of this film where they also covered the audience in blood. That would be so fun. I mean, you would need to wear the appropriate clothing, especially for this movie. But that would be really fun to experience it like that. Unfortunately, it's not anywhere around me. But anyway, so 4 Bloody Marys. I really enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought in the comments. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I'm here for the conversations and the spilling of the tea. Anyway, thank you all so much for listening and watching, because you're watching these. These are videos. As always, make sure that you stay fierce out there.